Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here with me.
Thanks for having us. Hello.
Yeah. It's cool. This is the first ever podcast we've done outside, which is exciting.
It's very nice.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. So starting off, I want to ask you guys, what do you do and why do you do it?
So, we do music, which it can be interpreted in a lot of ways, and we kind of just can't stop. We just got to keep doing it. We don't really know why. It makes us feel specific things that nothing else can make us feel, and that gives meaning to life, and it's something that you just kind of have to keep doing. Honestly.
Same for you, Matthew.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if Aiden takes like the more like philosophical approach, I can make it more analytical in ways. But I guess we kind of are on a cycle where we write a lot of songs, record them, put them out, and then make stuff to promote it, whether it's like content or live shows, stuff like that. And it's just kind of a cycle, and we've been on it for a while and kind of just getting better at that whole process.
What are some aspects of that process that you really love, and then also ones that you really hate? And how do you make yourself do the things that you kind of don't like doing in that creative process?
Honestly, Matthew does the stuff that I don't want to do at all, so it works out pretty well. Like, I just want to kind of let go and just write whatever comes to mind and see whatever I can do writing-wise and, like, instrumental-wise or whatever. See whatever I can create. But often whatever you create isn't what people, like, are used to hearing, and so it kind of has to be formed into a more cohesive thing with the rest of the world, which is like the technological side, which is what Matthew usually goes for.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing a lot of like, I mean, I guess, okay, the stuff that I love to do, I like taking that idea that we have, like you kind of feel that little magic, you know, when you write that cool idea, and then figuring out how to make it like really cool and just put more pieces together. And I really like how when you're writing a song, you kind of start from like literally nothing, and then by the end you have something you can like listen back to, and it's like a tangible thing. And I guess the stuff that I don't like, I mean, there's nothing that I like hate other than like sometimes it can, like, you can get a little bogged down in some of the like administrative stuff, of course. And then I guess like content is like a love-hate thing. I know for a lot of artists it is, and usually like we can find something that we like in doing that, even if it's like a horrible grind.
Yeah.
But I think I start to hate it when it feels like our ideas aren't really working out in the way that we hoped. And it's like a letdown type of feeling. But
yeah, it hurts when you spend a lot of time doing content, especially, or anything business related, and just nothing comes of it, even though everyone, like, it's like everybody's telling you to, and and it feels like you have to, and it's part of your job, and then it doesn't do anything, and you're like, and you feel the most rewarded when you make something, like when you make a song, and you feel so much more rewarded, and the song is still at the core of everything no matter what. So it's like, it feels like that's just what we should keep doing.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to do the other stuff, but the other stuff is there, and we do it. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think with podcasting, I try and relate it to music because I'm creating something with people, but it's a different thing because I think it's all about the marketing. Like all of podcasting is marketing. So your guys' music is a different beast in a way because it is about, you enjoy that creative process where, like, I enjoy podcasting with people, but why do I do it? Do I do it for success? Do I do it for like the commercial success, or do I do it for like happiness within myself? And I think there's good examples of people who do both sort of things. Yeah.
It's almost like the song is the conversation you have, right? And then all the other like bullshit around that is like, you know, the marketing and the administrative stuff, the planning, like all of that stuff that sometimes takes away a little bit from the conversation.
I definitely feel that it does, at least for me. Yeah. I feel like it can be more about marketing, and then it just steals this thing that you actually love because you want what you love to be seen by others, but then it feels like you aren't even doing the thing you loved anymore because now you're trying to get it seen by others so much that you lose it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of like arts and hobbies in general these days are becoming that. Like, you can't just like something. You have to make content about it, and you have to like market it, even if you just like doing it. I don't know. It's kind of, especially with social media and stuff, it feels like that.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like that. And I wish we could move away from that more. I think a person who does a really good job is Rick Rubin, like with his podcast. You probably do you know about it?
A little bit, yeah.
He just does whatever he wants. Like the other day I saw he had a clip where it was like binary was the video. So it was like the people looked like binary code and they were moving and the binary was going. It was really cool. But he just does whatever he wants. And like not that like a lot of people watch it, but not as many as could watch it because he has really cool guests on. But he just kind of does it for the creative thing. And I've been trying to emulate that more because I think it's really cool. Yeah. Okay, so next question. Who are some of your guys' kind of creative influences when it comes to music, or it could just be the creative process?
Okay. One person who's inspired me for a long time is like the Kevin Parker from Tame Impala. I'm just fascinated with the way that he like locks himself away in like some room for 5 years and then just experiments and can make this like extremely like high level, high quality music out of just stuff he's figured out himself, and the way he can obsess over the little details in such a attentive way. I don't know, just his whole process is like fascinating to me, and of course I love his music, so I'm always very inspired by like what he's up to and kind of just reading stuff about him and all that.
What about you, Aiden?
Yeah, for me, I don't really have any rooted thing. I just rotate around all the time. It's like I'm always looking at different stuff. Anything that shows up in my life that I'm interested in, like if I see a billboard of some guy that I think is cool, I'll like investigate that. But I don't go like too deep. Right now I'm like really interested in a lot of older stuff, like the origins of rock and where like how rock came out of the blues and how that came out of like old stuff. And those songs, like once you get to the root of it, I feel like you kind of uncover something like the core feeling of it. And once you understand that, you can kind of emulate it and use it to express yourself. Because whatever you were feeling from the people today is just like, it's like an extrapolation of what that feeling used to be, just like on replay.
Like maybe you're influenced by history in general and just like the natural progression of art and society. Like in the past, right?
Okay, to pin it down more, like 60s stuff, like Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan's great. The Beatles are great, and Jim Morrison is great. Frank Zappa is great. Oh, Lou Reed is really great. Okay, there's some names.
Okay, to piggyback off of what you were talking about, locking yourself in a room, I feel like you guys do a really good job of that solitude. Like, you guys really work in solitude very well, and you do a good job, because I feel like in our conversations in the past, privately, you guys have shared that you want to have a sound that's not really easy to compare it to someone. Like, it's a very original, unique sound. Like, when people ask me, what is Soupless? What do they sound like? I can't really... I'm like, it's kind of like this and this and this, but it really isn't like any of it. And you guys do a really good job of kind of being original. How is it hard to do that, to figure out how to do that? And how do you do that? How do you find that originality?
I think I guess it's been intentional in a way where we want to make sure, like, going all the way back to like when we started, there's kind of a feeling of like, let's try to make this, like, let's try to make an indie song, let's try to make, what does indie music sound like, let's make that, and then I guess we kind of realized, that's maybe not like the most creative way to think. Like, let's try to shed all of that and just let's just make something good, whatever's like intuitive to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the hard part is like just accepting that you don't need to be trying to be anything. Like, just follow what your intuitive taste tells you to do, and that's ultimately like who you are. It's not really like trying. I don't know. We haven't really tried to make a unique sound. We just try to make things we think are good.
Yeah, and you go through life and you have all of the influences. You see all of the things that you like, and it's almost like you take a little bit off the top of all these things that you like, or you can even take more if you're really into a specific thing. But you take a little bit off the top, you take all the best stuff, and then it forms this, like it forms who you are as an artist, I think, and that's what's like inspired us. It's all those little things that we've taken and formed into this new thing.
Right, and that doesn't have to be conscious either. Like,
Yeah.
ultimately,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
should be intuitive. That is what your intuition is like,
Yeah.
that little bit from everything, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that interesting is like making the best thing. Like what's best for us, like making something good, because I think especially people our age really are focused on how do I make something like the person who's already made something good, and then they're trying to just make it like whoever that is. And I think that's an important distinction to make, is I'm just trying to make something good that I think is good,
Right.
and put out the best thing that I can put out, and make sure I don't cut any corners, I don't cheat, I don't use AI to whatever, because I think that steals like the creative potency within it. Yeah, because I think a lot of people are just trying to pretend to be whatever the thing is that's popular at the time, instead of making what they could actually make, whether it's music or something else.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would add to that, like, what allows that is, like, number one, like, you have to accept that your intuition is, like, your taste, and that's a good, like, guide to follow. Like, that's step one. And then step two is to make a bunch of stuff. Because, like, you're going to have moments where you're like, oh, I really want to make, like, this. I really want to make a Sabrina Carpenter song, you know? And you have to be making enough stuff where that you can make that and just throw it away, you know? You have
Because
to,
it's
like,
fun to make that.
Yeah.
It's fun to make that
Sometimes you
thing.
just got to flush it out of your system.
Yeah.
And I think, like, having a high output, like, is just super beneficial for, like, every part of creativity.
Yeah, you also have to really believe in yourself and trust yourself. Trust that you can make something good.
Yeah.
And that other people aren't. Yeah, just trust yourself.
Trust your taste.
Yeah.
Yourself.
For you guys working together on stuff, is it hard working with someone who's not only your friend, but sort of like your business partner in a way? How do you navigate that? How do you guys do it so well? Because I don't ever really see you guys squabbling or having beef with each other, like, ever. So is it just like a miracle that you guys found each other, or do you do something specific?
For me, I have to have an outlet to express myself, like, fully. And so doing art outside of Soupless has helped me really do Soupless so much better. Like, because I can just go in my room and literally do whatever I want. I don't even care about, like, anyone's perception of it. I do exactly what I want to hear right then. And I just can go crazy doing that. And then I can go to do Soupless, and I'm like, I already got that out of my system. Like, okay, I can kind of work within a framework now and not have to, like, try to get out of it because I've already gotten out of it on my own another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that goes back to, like, just having a lot of output allows you to, like, make your best work. Because there is a compromise and there is, like, a framework when we work together, because it's not, it is definitely, like, a push and pull, but it's in a very constructive way, I would say. There a lot of people can, like, there's a lot of, like, fighting in bands and stuff, and I don't think we fight. Sometimes I get very particular about things, but I think we just, because we make so much stuff, it's okay if we make some weird thing that, like, Aiden was really inspired by, or if we make some weird electronic song that I really wanted to make, you know. It's because we do so much, like, writing and so much experimentation, there's always room for stuff, and we'll always find that thing that, like, we both love, like, equally.
Yeah, and I'm also just happy to be making anything. Like, I've only really been in it for, like, a few years, like, maybe, like, a year before I came to school. Like, that's when I really started, like, being like, oh, music is something. And then once I got to school and Matthew was here, I didn't know how to really record anything. And then we just started doing it, and I was just happy to be doing it. And I was like, oh, this sounds great. Like, it doesn't even matter what we're doing. It just is cool that we can. And so that mindset still definitely exists. Like, because we can, and it's awesome that we can.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity.
Yeah, two things I noticed when you guys were answering was there's not really a lot of ego in either of you guys. Like, I think what you were talking about with bands fighting, it's like egos clashing, and I think you guys are
True.
really united and kind of set your egos aside when you're creating this, because you're united in making the good thing. So then your egos kind of go to the side. And also what you're saying, where like maybe you're more of a personality where you need that like rebellion in some way, shape, and form. So you're getting to rebel by making your own music and kind of getting it out of your system, so that when you go into Soupless, you can show up ready. Because I feel like that. Like when I work with people, I need to get my rebelliousness out of me in some way,
Right.
so that way I can go in selfless and put my ego to the side, because I've taken it on a walk and I've gotten the energy out of it. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into the album. It's called The Outside. What's the story behind it, and sort of how did it come to be?
Yeah, so I guess it all starts before December. We went on a big break for school, and then, I don't know, something just changed. And then when we got back from school, we just really started writing like crazy writing. And then I was like seeing all these parts of what the album became kind of start to form together in my head. And then it was just happening, and we were like, okay. And then we got the album, we figured it out how it worked together, and it was like by accident. And yeah, what do you say?
I guess the more analytical thing would be like, it's so freshman year, like we made some stuff. Sophomore year we came in and we wrote randomly. It would be like, okay, it's 11 p.m. Like, I don't have any homework. Do you want to write tonight? Okay, we have to be super quiet. Like, we have to whisper into the mic. Also, we have to finish in like 84 minutes and go to bed. And we did that for like a whole semester. And we made like just a bunch of random stuff that we're not very proud of today, definitely, and definitely hasn't seen the light of day. And then, yeah, we went on winter break and we came back and we started this routine that was really a game changer for us and that we still do today. And that was our like weekly Sunday writes. Like, let's not write any time during the week and then just go Sunday and we'll commit the whole day to writing together. And it's just become this routine that has allowed us to dive deeper on these songs. Instead of just writing like a 30-second snippet, we're writing a full 4.5-minute song, all at once. And we did that over and over and over. And another thing was we also like started writing with live drums and just went for a more like natural process, almost simulating a full band between the two of us. And that kind of led to a bunch of songs, and we looked at them and started connecting threads in them and crafted a story, and then eventually finished it, and we have the album.
Yeah, I think there was always a thread that we just weren't aware of.
Yeah.
And then somehow we kind of captured it, and now we're just kind of following it.
We found like, okay, we looked at our songs, and then we picked like the maybe 13 or 14 like best ones in our opinion. And then we started looking at the lyrics and we were like, like if you put in this order, like this is a story. And we kind of just had to add like maybe 10-20% more of the lyrics and really tie everything together. But it turned out that the whole time we were making something coming from the same place and going in the same direction.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of parallels with like our own journey and life.
Yeah.
And like it just bleeds through into the art, and it was almost separate for us before, like there's art and then there's our lives, and we're just doing whatever with music, but now it's kind of going together,
What's more interesting to me, at least, is like not only was some of it like drawn from ourselves, but now I listen to the songs and then I see it in real life. Like I see the pattern, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, damn, like that's like that song, and it's like playing out right in front of me,
Can we dive into the story behind it? Because you said that there's kind of this thread.
Yeah,
and you guys have
sure.
explained it to me a little bit as like a concept album in a way, but you didn't mean for it to be that. What is the story? We have time to dive into it. I would love
Let's
to
do it. Let's
to
do it.
hear
Yeah.
it. And I bet you so many people want to know.
Yeah, it's bizarre and weird. So the first track is I Look Around. So it's based off you wake up in this weird world that is just desolate and barren, and there's like a plague going on, and it's like there's an infection coming from the outside that you can't, you come into the outside, you're waking up, and there's this infection, and you're trying to navigate life, and you're looking around, and you don't know what to do, and you're just kind of stranded. You're just stranded, and there's
We kind of, the metaphor
Yeah.
for that is like the desert.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
the
wake
desert.
up in the desert, like in this dried area. It's like the apocalypse, I guess.
Yeah, and you're in this desert, and it's literally looking around. It's your first like baby steps in this desert. That's the chorus. It's like I look around, and then further into the album, you start to experience more. It's like your perception is opening up with every new song, and you're becoming aware of more things. Like the desert isn't just the desert. There's so much more to it, and there's like we have our big song is The Mirror, or In the Mirror, and that's all about, it's like right in the middle of the album. It's the fifth song, and it's all about self-reflection. It's all about reflection, and like it being in the middle of the album, you can kind of see that, and it's all about the battle with like yourself and finally overcoming this like barren wasteland that is you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I look around, you wake up, and you see all this bad stuff around you. And that's, if you look at the lyrics, like that's all it says. It's like describing things. Then outside in, the way it sounds to me, it's like it's like we woke up and now we're like diving in. And so it really starts describing the problems like that you see around yourself, or in yourself too. And what's kind of interesting is there's like a roller coaster sound at the end that's like hidden in there, but it's like literally like you're going like this into the world, like you're plunging in. And then we start like looking at different parts, like kind of narrowing in a little bit. And so the next song is Hoping, and
yeah, the desert basically turns into an ocean, and we use the ocean to like demonstrate this like hope that we're like we have no more hope, and so we can't breathe. Our lungs are filling with all this water that has like is drowning us basically.
Yeah.
And we're like screaming for help, like you can hear it in the chorus. It's like hoping, and it's super emotional, and yeah.
Yeah, and then we keep going and we talk about in K9, which it's like almost a story about like a dog dying, but it kind of symbolizes like just a part of you that like, I don't know, like that acts like a dog, like acts a little bit foolish, a little bit young, and like noticing like, oh, that part of me I've shed, and like moving on from that, you know, while also saying like that was a part of me that like I don't know, you can relate that to your like anyone's life, shedding a part of you that like, yeah, that shaped me to who I am today, and I'm grateful for that, but it's time to like move forward. And then in the mirror you finally like face yourself, and I guess the worst thing, the biggest enemy in anywhere in the apocalypse, the biggest enemy is like what's in your mind and like what you tell yourself, you know.
Yeah, I think that song is the In the Mirror song. I really like it because you're kind of, Matthew, you're kind of this like bad guy,
Right.
And you're egging him on a little
Yes.
bit, and he's like battling with you. But it's cool because like, did you guys want it to be like that when you wrote that song? Like,
That song
can we talk about the ghost?
yeah, that song was almost magically written, which is weird, but I know that's happened to a lot of people.
We just wrote it like a song.
We didn't have any idea what we were talking about. We just wrote what sounded good in the moment. It like not even thinking about meaning or anything. And then there's this really cool moment where it's like a combination of arrangement and like circumstance that caused this. But we weren't even aware that Matthew was almost doing the mirror's voice while we were writing it.
I was just singing because we thought it was cool, you know.
Yeah.
We were like, I was like, what if we repeated one line and then filled in something different every time? That was the idea.
Yeah, and then it just came to be that it was this back and forth between like me and the mirror, and then and then it got to the point where we were at the final chorus where it's a back and forth, and then Matthew was playing the drums, and he had like his hairband on
Like
the
a metal
cymbal.
hairband, you know?
Yeah.
Like a metal hairband on the cymbal, and he hits it, and then it made this sound that was exactly like glass shattering. And it was in the perfect place.
Yeah.
Like everything went quiet, and then it made this sound that was perfectly like a glass shattering, and it just sounded like glass shattering. And then it just so happened that in the arrangement, Matthew's voice drops out for that last chorus.
So like, let's do a guitar solo let's throw in the mirror, you know. But we didn't put my part in there.
Yeah, and so we left off the mirror part, and it's just like the mirror had been defeated because the glass shatters, and then we're singing that, and I didn't even really realize that until listening to the demo,
Right.
And I was like, oh my god, this is just crazy.
We were like thinking about the meaning of songs, and we were like, oh, okay, so like I'm the mirror, like I'll be the mirror's voice in this album or something like that, right? And then we like listen to the bridge, and if you listen in the song, you'll hear the glass shatter, right? You've heard it.
Yeah.
That's the original sound of me hitting a cymbal, and the headband that was making the rattling sounds on it just fell off, and it made that sound that sounds like glass. And we were like, I don't know, we were just listening back to it like, holy shit.
Yeah, right at the perfect time too.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, and it sounds bizarre, but it was just what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool that happened in synchronicity with itself. What's the ghost?
The ghost is like wisdom, I guess, in like a really broad sense. It's kind of, I don't know, it became this idea, like we would always talk about like this ghost in our dorm room or something.
Was it actually there? Like, did you actually have ghost stuff going on?
Well, the symbol thing happened.
The symbol thing happened. We would just like see a coincidence and be like, oh, it's the ghost. And then it became this like character that we talked about. And then we were like, let's if you look at the song in the mirror, there's the bridge section, and there's like advice that comes through, and like that becomes a ghost, and then the mirror breaks, and so I don't know, this idea of the like this we were just be like, oh, that's like the ghost, you know, that song was written by the ghost, like we would just say that, and then we realized like in these songs there's like this sense of wisdom sometimes, and we characterize it as the ghost. I guess that's how I see it, at least.
Yeah, I always saw the ghost as some kind of emotion that, like some kind of love that is like we're being pulled to. It's like some kind of advisor that we're being kind of taken towards or something.
Like that sage.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the, you know, the wise guy, like the wise man.
Yeah.
Like
in our
divine
story.
wisdom, the sage, like
Yeah.
the Gandalf.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And like moments like the mirror breaking, I can't remember, but there's a few. Oh, there's in the song "Outside In." You'll hear in the little instrumental part. There's like a whistle that's like that's like really high, like a high whistle. What happened was while we were recording that song, the way the audio files lined up and made like harmonic overtones basically ended up creating this whistling sound that was an octave up from the melody, and it was almost like a ghost was singing in our song.
Weird.
And so that was just another instance of that. You know,
That's really cool. What are each of your guys' favorite song off of the album? If you had to pick one.
I mean, Tick On is more of a like. Tick On feels like a whole odyssey in itself. So if I had to just listen to one, it would probably be that, because it has the guitar and it has the vocals and the cool parts. I also really like I Look Around for some reason. It's just kind of weird, and I like that.
What about you, Matthew?
My perception is pretty messed up of the album, just because I've like with me mixing it, I listen to it like so much, and I listen to it with the only purpose of me listening to it is like being critical of it. So my perception has been very warped with time, but I think like right now I'd say that maybe Michigan is my favorite.
Yeah.
Just something about it felt like I could never write a song like that, and like I would never be a part of a song like that, and then we made it, and I don't know, I'm just very proud of it, I guess.
When it comes to what you were talking about with the mixing and the producing and all of that, what is your guys' process for artists who maybe aren't where you're at, but they're a couple steps like before you, and they're trying to figure out like, how do I do this thing? I want to be like Soupless. I want to make songs by myself. I don't really want to have to mix and have someone to mix my songs and produce them. I want to do it myself. What advice do you have for those people?
My main thing would just be the output. Like, write put aside that day do that thing, just make a lot of stuff. That's really the only way to get better. A lot of artists will make one thing and then work on it a lot, but you really need to make like 50 things, and then you'll know which one you want to work on more.
Like Nike says, just do it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Specifically on mixing and producing, do you have any tips for people who would, like, I don't know anything about it, but for people who would know about it, like, what are some, like, hacks or tips or tricks or whatever?
I don't know. I guess just like make a lot of stuff and make different types of stuff. Because like if you're trying to get really good at basketball, like you're going to shoot like a million free throws,
Yeah.
But you can't really get good at producing without making a million songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, in anything, honestly, if you're trying to be good at anything, it's just reps.
Yes.
It's just repping it out, doing it, being okay, and kind of like what you said with K9, like when there are things that you do that you don't like, being grateful for it instead of like hating yourself for it.
Yeah.
And just like be okay that it's going to suck. Like I look back on my first episodes and I'm like, that was terrible.
Yes.
But it's okay.
It has to suck. It has to suck.
It's important.
At first,
yeah, because some people get so discouraged right at the beginning that their song doesn't sound like who inspired them to start. And then they just quit because they're like, I'm hopeless. But keep hoping.
Yeah, it's important also to not get focus on form, because you're never going to be as good as you're never going to do anything the exact same way as anyone else. It's never going to have that. It's always going to be different if it's different people doing something. So you can't get too focused on someone else's system or the things someone else does, and you have to actually do it. You have to do it yourself, because you just can't avoid it. Like no matter what, just fundamentally.
Yeah. You have to just do it and do a lot of it,
Yeah.
Nike.
Interesting. What's next for you guys?
We're going to try to play a lot of live stuff, and we're also going to just keep writing. Just keep work on another project. Like this project right now feels like so small compared to what I think we're capable of, especially with what we've been able to write recently. I feel like we can really, because we know what happened with our last album, and we know how it got there, and now we're starting at such a higher point than we did. We didn't know what was going on.
So we've started our weekly writing sessions like basically as soon as we got here, and it feels like not only are we picking up where we left off as far as like skill goes and and stuff like that, but I feel like a few steps ahead of where we were. Like, we made a lot of bad stuff, bad, terrible stuff. And we had to. Like, that was the only way to get to the good stuff. But I feel like we're starting at a place where I'm like, oh, this is actually, we're like starting at a good place. So I'm just excited for where we'll end up, I guess, after a few months of doing this every week,
Yeah, when you say that you think you're capable of more, what do you mean by that? Are you talking like a big album, like 30-song album, or is that what you mean by more, or do you mean like just
Better.
Okay.
Yeah, songs that are deeper, that make you feel more, that are catchier, that are just like, that we're more proud of. Just all across the board.
Songs we like more.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, is there going to be, like, the album's out already, people can go listen to it. Where can they listen to it?
All the places: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music,
YouTube.
Yeah, and all those links
all
will
those
be
places.
in the bio. So listen to them, add the album, save the album. What is it? Yeah?
Yeah, save the album,
Save the album,
share it.
share it,
Oh, make sure you listen front to back.
front to back. And just like whenever
no
you go to
shuffle.
bed, before you go to bed, just mute your phone and play the album on repeat.
Yeah.
So that
And-
way,
Or put the audio on and see what it does. See what it
Yeah, yeah,
starts
yeah.
doing to your mind.
And
Yes,
back
yes,
to
yes.
front.
back to front.
Yeah. It works inversely too.
Really?
Yeah, but oppositely.
All things do.
Okay, interesting. Is there going to be a deluxe version of the album?
There's some more songs that we want to put out.
Okay.
In relation to the album very soon.
Did those go along with the story?
I would say it's everything that we think is great that didn't tie into the story. If that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it's like the canon will emerge, like no matter what.
What?
Like the root of the root
Canonical
Oh, okay.
arc.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like a cannon.
No.
I was like, what?
The canon.
Not a physical canon, but the canon of whatever direction we're going in will emerge no matter what. And then those songs are just like they're like periphery, but we think they're good. So
Yeah, to me the narrative is there and it's done. And so now here's everything else that we think is great that we want people to hear. That was from the same time and the same headspace as those songs. You know.
Interesting. What is one habit that you do? It could be related to music, could be related to creativity or not. That is like core to just your everyday that you feel like is really important to you.
I think like on an everyday scale,
Yeah.
it's like setting small goals and getting them done, whether it's like a to-do list or we have to constantly, you have to think one step ahead to be really productive. And so it's kind of like, okay, well, we need to make this and this needs to be delivered by this day and we have this to rehearse for. And so just like having that checklist and getting those goals done in order to just like take big steps forward. I guess that's a daily habit, you know.
yeah, to me, I'm always kind of trying to cater to myself. Like I'm trying to like make myself feel okay. Like in a way, like I try to eat healthy and I try to do things that are good for me. And
That make you feel good.
Yeah,
You've
that-
definitely worked a lot on that, I feel like, over the past year or so.
just like I try to stay rooted and not wander. I try to not let my mind wander too much. I try to like stay on a constant path throughout every day.
Like the daily, I mean, it's just like the
Yeah.
daily grind almost, and just like loving getting stuff done.
Yeah, every day almost feels like it's like every day's a little story, and it follows its own little path, and you can follow it however you want, but it's good to keep on that path and like watch it and not just let it pass by because that sucks, and you aren't really. I feel like that's not really living, you know.
Yeah. Can we talk about like? We can cut this. Can we talk about like God, or like the divine, or like that?
Okay.
Yeah. Would you want that in this, or
Maybe.
we don't have to if you don't want to? I just was thinking about it.
Just
I kind
answer
of like
something-
talking about
answer,
everyone's relationship with the infinite,
Okay.
because I kind of
I have
talked
to
about.
answer in a way where my parents will be able
Yeah.
to listen to this.
What do you mean?
Well, if you were to ask me, I'd be like, oh, like, I don't believe in any of that, you know?
Well, you can.
And I would say that. I would just,
Okay. How does God or the infinite or some sort of supernatural wisdom that exists far beyond our comprehension, how does that influence your guys' day-to-day? Do you believe in God? What is God to you? And how does that impact maybe your music?
Yeah, I guess I can say all I really know is the things that I've been shown and the things that I can like look at and interact with. I don't really know anything other than that. Like the stuff I see on my phone, like that's not really real. I don't interact with that stuff.
Yeah.
Like and I try to see how everything is just there, and I think everything has a little bit of some kind of wholeness in it. Like everything's a little part of some big whole.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to just kind of stay where I'm at, like operate within that whole of whatever it all is.
Yeah.
I've kind of found myself like moving in the opposite direction and I guess looking at things in a more literal and logical way.
Okay.
And that's what my outlook on like the world has become.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess like I'm not really influenced by
Yeah.
like anything greater, you know, at least to my knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm pretty rooted in like
Analytics. You're very.
I'm very analytical. I'm very rooted in like what's right here in front of me.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, even I would you say that your work is not tied to even like emotion, really? Because I see you saying like never. Your sign in there says never stop working ever, And it's like, that's a denial. That's a very stoic thing. It's a denial of emotion and just focusing on the thing.
It used to be, there was a time where I really believed that mantra, never ever stop working, but I think it's become more of like probably the way that a lot of internet influencers have their plan. Like now it's just a mantra that there's more nuance to it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I've learned more about balance and how important that is to be able to have output. So I'm more forgiving on myself when I have emotions or, when I'm not a robot at times.
Yeah. What do you guys do for fun? How do you balance work and I guess I hate it when people say work and play, but how do you guys balance work and then what isn't work?
Well, for me, I try not to work at all. I try to have everything be like a fun game. I try to have everything be a fun. You can call it work. People would maybe call it work, but like writing songs all day to me isn't. Sure, we're working towards something, but it doesn't feel like work at all. It just feels like that's when I'm writing songs. Or yeah, I'm trying to think what feels like work. Whenever things start to feel like work, I kind of start to pivot away from them.
My perspective is definitely very different. Like to me, most things are work, but I enjoy doing them. Like even a lot of stuff that I do for fun is also work in a way. Like I like one of my favorite things is like fantasy baseball, and I'm like really into studying players and stats and stuff, but it's kind of like work. Like I'm doing programming, I'm doing spreadsheets, like that's kind of like work. I like doing video and photos, and there's a lot of editing involved. Like that's kind of like work. So the line is blurred, but I like to play the finals.
Yes, yeah, the finals. I think that's important because you have something that you like doing. You like organizing things and having lists and all of that stuff. So
I
that's
like
something
doing stuff like that feels productive, I guess.
Yes. So you do whatever it is that you're into productively.
Yeah.
In the same way that Aiden likes to gamify things and make things fun.
Yeah.
He does that with whatever he's calling work.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as it doesn't feel like that, which is what I do, I run away from it. Yeah.
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 It's hard to force yourself to do stuff that you hate.
100%.
And I've gotten kind of good at that, but also a lot of stuff that I like to do is productive in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, I almost pivot. It's more of a pivot. It's not I stop. Like if I'm not writing songs, I want to be painting something, or if I'm not doing homework, I want to be doing Soupless work, like business side work. It's more of a pivot, and I'm satisfying the same. It's like I'm itching myself.
yeah.
In all these different places.
Yeah.
And I think there's like certain things that appeal to me more that I've thought a lot about and like found what kind of things I tend to gravitate towards. And I realized I just like making stuff, whether it's music or just like, videos, pictures. I just like making stuff that I think is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess most artists are probably like that. Like, I mean, you said you like to paint and stuff. Like, we kind of just like to make stuff.
Yeah, it's just important to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And that's at the root of it.
And
even
that's
if
fun.
Even if you get bored, like
Yeah.
you can do it in the same way, some other way, and you get the same feeling.
Yeah, there's always something else to do that will excite you.
Yeah, I really align with that. And because I really like diving into something and getting really obsessed and knowing a lot about it. And that's kind of what I do when I do an interview with someone is I just like make their whole life my obsession for like a week. And I learn everything about them and then I interview them. And that's kind of like, I guess, my version of what you guys were talking about.
Like,
So
we're working right now technically, but we're having like this is fun. Like we could be, I don't know. There's not much that's like more fun than doing stuff like this. I think there's very few things.
yeah.
Yeah, and work is also a large spectrum. like we could be much less privileged and not be able to be here. But
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. So for people who are listening, where should they go? They should go to the links, correct? To hear the album. What do you want them
if they're
to see? Where
interested.
do you want them to go? They want to
well,
go. They want to go.
Make sure to find us on Instagram. That's like where we like to hang out. And then check out our album on Spotify or whatever.
Go just listen to our music wherever you can. That's the most important.
We've got a lot of music because we've been making a lot of songs.
Yeah, go listen and take whatever you can from it with hearing this, and then form a new perspective on it.
Yeah, and then DM your thoughts to us. If you hate it, tell us.
Yeah,
why.
we want all really detailed feedback about everything we're doing.
Unbiased.
Do you want to plug any like dates of gigs or anything? This will be out in 2 weeks. Or no, it's fine if not.
We don't know if we have anything.
Okay.
Well, you can find either on our Instagram or our bands in town, I think it's called, all of our upcoming shows and stuff, and they'll all get populated onto there.
And your Instagram is what?
Soupless Band.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
This was really fun.
Solomon.
All right, bye everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.